Hello friends, welcome back. Thank you so much for watching all the videos posted by ITAM Guru YouTube channel. I will be helping you all to gain knowledge in IT asset management, and it will definitely help you all to learn more knowledge and have a great insight about the IT asset management. In today's training session, we are going to discuss about the software audit process. As we all know, software audit is one of the big concern which each and every organization is having, as they doesn't know about the audit handling process and the way audit happens. As a SAM professional, it's our big responsibility to make our organization audit ready and help our organization to fight with the audit. So without wasting time, let's get started and have a discussion around the audit process. So when it comes to the software audit, we should understand the audit process, and I would like to recommend you all to think about your license and compliance position before audit come and auditor knocks your door. As a part of audit process, we are going to understand the flow, how exactly software audit happens. As we all know, there are multiple publishers available in the market from whom we used to buy the softwares, and in order to understand the software estate, we have to do the micro level scrutiny, and we have to understand what we purchase and what we are using. So the first phase which we have to think about audit process is going to be the software vendor audit preparation. So when it comes to the vendor audit preparation, we have multiple publishers from whom we are buying the softwares, like Microsoft, IBM, Oracle, Adobe, VMware, Red Hat. So there are hundreds of publishers, but majorly we have to think about the top tier publishers like IBM, Microsoft, Oracle and Adobe. We should be understanding how they used to audit their customer, and we have to prepare for the audit whenever auditor sent you an intimation letter. So the first phase of audit process is going to be the audit preparation. As a part of audit preparation, we have to think about what we have purchased and what we are using, and then we have to think for the notification which we have received from the vendor. That is called as initial notification about intimation, or it's kind of intimate which we are receiving from the vendor as they are going to audit you. So it's really important to keep a track on the notification which we have receiving from the vendor, and once we receive the intimation letter, we will have to start understanding and having deep dive over the software license contracts and the agreements which we have associated with the specific publisher who is going to audit you. And we have to understand the intimation letter, how they are going to audit you and which entity they have selected to audit you. So as we all know, there is something called as Big Four. These are the top 4 auditing firms in the market. Those used to ideally audit their customers. So these Big Fours are like PwC, KPMG, then we have EY and Deloitte. So these are the top 4 auditing firms, those ideally doing the audit on behalf of vendor. So there are many more. It's not like these are the only 4 those used to audit. So there are multiple vendors or the auditing firms, those used to audit you on behalf of publisher. And based on the intimation letter, you will have to coordinate with the auditing firm. So once we have received the intimation letter, we have to go for the audit planning schedule, or that is the audit plan meetup. In the audit plan meetup, we will have to understand the demand of the auditor. We will have to understand what they exactly want to audit you and how they want to audit you, what are the specific title they would like to monitor and validate and verify in your infrastructure. So it's very important to understand the requirement which we have received at the time of initial meetup which we are having with the audit. And once we understood the requirement from the vendor, we will have to review the requirement and we will have to understand the demand which is specifically defined by the auditing firm. And once we have the review on their requirement and the dedicated demand for audit, we will have to think about the audit trail, and based on that we have to plan accordingly to work on collecting and reviewing the data. So the most important phase is data collection or the audit artifacts collection. As a SAM professional, it's our responsibility to validate and review the demand from the auditor, and based on that we will have to work on the audit data preparation and audit data collections from the sourcing team or the procurement team. So once we have the data from all the vertical, from all the business units and the procurement team, we will have to review, analyze, normalize the data, and as and when data collection phase has been completed, we will have to get it presented in front of auditor. And once we have drilled all the data and gathered in a normalized format, we will have to submit that audit artifacts with the auditor. They will be definitely asking you to submit the proof of purchase or the contract copy or the agreement copy which we have. If there are any amendment which we have done so far, we will have to look for that amendment also. If we have all this data with us, whatever is asked by auditor, we will go for the submission. And once we have submitted all the license entitlement data and the software deployment status against our purchase, then we will have to wait for the review which needs to be done from auditor's end. They will again review the data which is submitted by the client, and once they done with their review and their analysis, they will check if there is any mismatch, any discrepancy in the data, and they will finally submit the audit review report. And based on that report, they will highlight the discrepancy, or if there is any additional demand or the info which they need from client side, they will again demand for that information. So it's not like that software audit is something which we can complete maybe in 2-3 meetings. It may take months, or maybe sometime it take year also. I have seen that some clients having audit from some auditing firm, and that may last for 1 year, even more than that also. So it depends on your skill, the expertise, and the SAM professionals which you have. Those are helping in audit, and depend on their skill and knowledge how soon you can close that audit. If you are in good position, if you have all the evidence, all the proof, all the artifacts, you would not be in trouble. So it's important to have each and everything handy whenever audit starts, and we will have to submit it for the auditor. So once you receive the audit review report from the auditing sites, you will have to work on the remediation plan. If there is some discrepancy or over-utilization, there might be some software titles, those are in non-compliant status, where we have deployed more software as compared to our software license entitlement which we have purchased, and this is trying to think of the remediation part by coordinating with vendor or the publisher. We will have to think about how can we fill up the gap, and based on your remediation plan you can come to the final conclusion how you are going to do the negotiation. So at the time of negotiation part, it's very important to think about your business values which we have contributed among with the specific publisher or the vendor, the business and the relationship which we have with them. And I will say the sourcing team or the SAM team is playing very important role in negotiating the audit values, and it depends on the skill how much you would be able to reduce the audit penalties. If you are in green zone, you need not to worry about it, but if there is non-compliant status for some software title, then definitely negotiation is going to be there, and depends on your expertise, your skill, your value, your relationship with the vendor, you would be able to negotiate the cost or the penalties, and definitely will help your organization to save some sort of amount or the audit penalties by doing the negotiation. And based on that, it will come to the audit closure. If everything is sorted, negotiation is done, and it will come to the point where we will have to close the audit based on the auditor's confirmation. It's not like you are the one who can recommend to close the audit. If each and everything has been proved, artifacts has been submitted, then and then only they will make it as a complete, and based on the conclusion, if there is any excess use, you will have to buy additional licenses or you will have to pay the penalties. So it will depend on case to case, but we will have to come to the conclusion and think about to fill up the gap which found in audit. So I will say audit is something where we are getting an opportunity to understand the infrastructure and the actual utilization of your software. So there are some pros, there are some cons, but we will have to think about both the side of coin. As we all know, whenever auditor knocks your door or you receive the intimation letter, most of the clients get afraid. I would say need not to be afraid. If you are monitoring, controlling your usage, you are tracking your software license and procurement and agreement data, you would definitely able to fight the audit, and there will be very less chances your organization has to pay the penalty in the audit. So it's a skill or the expertise of SAM professional, it's a value of SAM professional to save our organization from audit, and that's why I will always recommending you all to be audit ready. So being audit ready is very important role which is getting performed by SAM professional by helping our organization to understand and streamlining their baseline, understanding their deployment data. If there is any discrepancy, we should have proactively fill that gap. If there is an opportunity to do the reharvesting, we should definitely do that, and we can save our organization from the penalty. So I think this is very important. I will say never ever get afraid if you get an audit intimation letter. Just think about your infrastructure and try to be audit ready before auditor knocks your door. Even though it's PwC, KPMG, Deloitte or EY, they would be doing their job. As we all know, publisher want to generate a revenue by auditing you, as they are getting the revenue by two sources, by selling the product to the customer, and the second source of revenue for publisher or the vendor is going to be by auditing you. The way they audit you, definitely they are damn sure about it. They will found some discrepancy and they will penalize you and they will generate the dollar over here. and it's a role of SAM professional to avoid such scenarios, and we have to make sure that our organization or our client is never ever going to pay the penalty to the auditor. I hope guys you people have at least got an idea about how audit process happen, what are the phases those are falling under the audit. Even though auditor knocks your door, you will never ever get afraid, and you will always try your best to make your organization audit ready. With this note, I think we are pretty much confident to handle and tackle the audit, and will definitely do some sort of cost saving for our organization by making them audit ready. That's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for your time and your support. We'll keep learning and keep a track over all the software estates which you have. Feel free to subscribe to my channel and write into the comment section if there is any topic on which you want to upload or create me a video or a session. I will definitely do it for you. Thank you so much for your love and support.